Hi, I'm Alessandro and this is a short demo of CoCoMUT, a Java method context extraction tool. CoCoMUT takes a Java project, analyzes source code and compiled bytecode and emits a JSON record where each row describes one method and its surrounding context. The goal is to make method level context usable for tasks such as documentation generation, code explanation, code review, program compilation, and many others. So if we look at the architecture of CoCoMUT, we can see that it combines two views of the same project. That is the source view, that is built with Spoon framework. The source view gives us the method identity, such as the Java doc of the method or annotation of the method. The bytecode view is built with SUTAP, and this gives us caller-callee relationship of the method. So what are the caller of the method and what are the callees of the method. CoCoMUT then join these two views. So if a bytecode call target can be matched uniquely to a source method, then the edge gets a source method URI. If it can be matched safely, CoCoMUT abstains from the match and it reports an ambiguity. CoCoMUT can be used in three ways. So the first way is through the CLI, which is the easiest way to run CoCoMUT. The second is the API. Eventually, there's also a jar, a package jar, which is basically the mirror of the CLI interface. Now we run CoCoMUT on a real-world repository. So back in the terminal, here we have a CoCoMUT project and JSoup, which is a popular Java repository. So we enter in CoCoMUT project, then we run the CLI command. Let me take the CLI command and copy it. So we are running CoCoMUT on the JSoup repository with all scope on the main source set. We are using RTA call graph and we are compiling basically the repository. Okay, so it compiled. So CoCoMUT emitted the output in a certain directory. Actually, it output the JSONs here, should be here. Okay, so we have lots of files. The most important one is the method context JSON-L. So it's a JSON-L because for each line of this file there's a standalone JSON object. So if we go here and output these, okay, so here is a standalone JSON object of the JSON-L file. So this record has several groups, such as the mute field. In the mute field we have the method URI, which is the unified resource identifier of the method. Then we have parameters like the Java doc, the return type, which is a generic T in this case, and the erased return type. So the difference between the return type and erased return type is non-trivial because return type is at source level. So but Spoon outputs the return type as a generic T in this case. Erased return type is the return type that we have after compilation. So it's the return type that is emitted by suitup. So the generic T is emitted as org.jsub connection base after compilation. So that is a non-trivial difference that we handle in CoCoMUT. Then we have some metadata about the JSON-L and many other fields. So JSON-L is great for script to scan, but tough for humans to read. That's why we built a standalone viewer for this JSON file. Let me open it. Okay, so this viewer let us iterate through the record with the next and previous button, and also filter them with plenty of options. Let's take an example method. So this is our remove method with a rich Javadoc. We can see it in the code. Okay, so as we said, it has a rich Javadoc with plenty of tags, such as C, return, code, and links. It has also 2 colliers and 1 colliers. If we see the colliers, we can state that these are render. One collier that is rendered is the ensure metachar set element that, as we said, calls remove. If we go through the collier section, we can see that ensure metadata set element is actually called, and we can retrieve its metadata. Moreover, the remove method has some C tag and link tag, as we said. The link tag actually refers to a class, okay, and this class is resolved by CoCoMUT. So this class has actually a very rich documentation that can be useful for some studies. And if we go through the web viewer and go through not documatics, but Javadoc metadata, we can find the, actually here, we can find the documentation of the linked class. So finally, CoCoMUT gives you a compact method-centered representation of a Java project. Because every single row of the JSON-L file is an independent JSON object, it is highly efficient for large-scale dataset generation. The tool itself, the documentation, schemas, and evaluation script are fully available in our public repository. Thanks for the attention.